There is a divine source code that makes up the fabric of the universe, and thought leaders of ancient days like Pythagoreans and Plato firmly believed these codes were a series of numbers. Physicists have studied string theory for decades and have recently come to understand the strings are in fact a series of numbers.
Einstein believed there was a unified field theory that tied it all together, and while he never found definitive proof, he knew it to exist. Geometric shapes are the building blocks of the universe, utilizing the number codes in complete balance and divine perfection.
The universe demands balance, and it creates order out of chaos, and this resonance experiment is a perfect example of the divine creation at work. Later we'll learn that even our words have a frequency, and that the English language is actually a cipher for the divine source code.
Dr. Emoto has conducted another interesting experiment. He placed rice into 3 glass beakers and covered it with water. And then every day for a month, he said, "Thank you" to one beaker, "You're an idiot" to the second, and the third one he completely ignored. After 1 month, the rice that had been thanked began to ferment, giving off a strong, pleasant aroma. The rice in the second beaker turned black. and the rice that was ignored began to rot.
This is the seventh seal. I channeled it in 1992, and it holds a very particular frequency that was designed to activate.
The ancients knew the power of these shapes, and their symbols and signets were more than just identification. They told a story. Here are some other powerful shapes and their corresponding numbers.
The ancient alphabets had numbers associated with the letters. This enabled messages and frequencies to be attributed to key words and phrases. The ancient science of Gematria and isosepia have been used to decipher hidden messages that have been cryptographically hidden in ancient text. One of the most sacred symbols for the secret name of God, known as the Tetragrammatron, typically had the Tetractys embedded in a symbol which carried a frequency due to the underlying 9 triangles and their corresponding numbers. This represented the formula of creation. When the numbers are ordered in a particular way, they reveal numerological logic as well as a hidden sequence. This magic number triangle is at the center of the seventh seal. Watch what happens when the numbers are arranged correctly. Divine intelligence is self-evident. Let's follow along and see. This message is echoed in many ways down through the ages as the way to wisdom, esoteric wisdom, and eternal life. The nature of the universe is a hologram. From the macrocosm to the microcosm, every level reflects one another. Patterns demonstrate the existence of intelligence or consciousness. The Merkaba sequence is hidden within each of the components that make up the whole. Within the Merkaba, the descending triangle adds up to 33, 12, 10, and 11. Mother Nature's formula at its core. There's so much divine intelligence inherent in these basic numbers and simple patterns and shapes. Hidden within, we find a message that all is one with spirit. Inside the core, we see the values of 7 to the right and 1 to the left. The powerful number sequences that activate and accelerate your DNA. You might find it interesting that the Merkaba, which everybody is pretty fascinated with, has a hidden code within it, which is revealed when you divide 1 by 7. It produces a number that is 142,857 ad infinitum, as it repeats forever. This number does some very amazing things. And watch what happens. 1 goes to 4, 4 goes to 2, 2 goes to 8, 5 goes to 7. The divine intelligence in action. And this just keeps on flowing. This is your divine intelligence in action. At the core of the hidden wisdom is the information that activates the crown chakra or the seventh seal. This wisdom or information does expand consciousness greatly, as well as provide access to higher dimensional frequencies, which does result in the expanding of consciousness, connecting you to what I have coined eternal consciousness or divine consciousness. a deeper awareness of our own superhuman consciousness and access to our oversoul, our part of the Godhead that is uniquely ours. Saint Germain is a master who was a steward of the hidden wisdom for a very long time. It was in recognition of Bacon's intellectual accomplishments that King James turned over to him the translator's manuscripts of what is now known as the King James Bible for the presumable purpose of checking, editing, and revising them. The documents remained in his hands for nearly a year, but no information is to be had concerning what occurred in that time. Regarding this work, William T. Smedley writes, "It will eventually be proved that the whole scheme of the authorized version of the Bible was Francis Bacon's." The first edition of the King James Bible contains a cryptic Baconian headpiece. Did Bacon cryptographically conceal in the authorized Bible that which he dared not literally reveal in the text? The secret Rosicrucian key to mystic and Masonic Christianity. Sir Francis Bacon unquestionably possessed the range of general and philosophical knowledge necessary to write the Shakespearean plays and sonnets, for it is usually conceded that he was a composer, lawyer, and linguist. His chaplain, Dr. William Raleigh, and Ben Jonson both attest his philosophic and poetic accomplishments. The former pays Bacon this remarkable tribute: "I have been induced to think that if there were a beam of knowledge derived from God upon any man in these modern times, it was upon him. For though he was a great reader of books, yet he had not his knowledge from books, but from some grounds and notions from within himself." Francis Bacon as Germain encodes the English language to infuse light into the language. A new cipher is created that unlocks a deeper correlation to the light codes and frequencies. The word woman adds up to 396 in this new English Gematria, which is the value of the descending Sophia seed, pictured here in yellow. As we saw, the trio life in Gematria was 144. In the New English Gematria, it's 3.14 or 143. As we shall see, has a correlation to the number table that was set up to match all of these codes. The Tudor language of the 1600s did not have the letter J. The name James and Jesus were spelt with an I. When Bacon redesigned the English language by adding the letter J, a final product of 26 letters was created. This brought the symmetry of the 5 letters each side of the pentagon or pentagram together at the center with the letter 26. The number 5 was sacred not only because of the 5 vowels, but the 5 senses. So 5 was correlated to the human body because it resembled the shape from the head to the arms to the toes, with the 26th letter in the heart, in the center, maintaining the 5 sides and the 5 vowels as sacred. This was a sacred symbol for the mystery schools, both Egypt and the Pythagorean. This secret science brought a whole new dimension to the living word. The divine intelligence of the numbers had a direct correlation to the Zodiac. All the sublime science was brought together with numbers. For example, the cosmology of heaven and the world we live in all are centered within or around a circle, 360 degrees. The primary degrees or angles around the circle are the sacred numbers. For example, 72, 144, 216, which is inverted or reversed of the first number group of the alpha number metrics, which we'll look at next. Many sacred temples around the world were configured with sacred numbers, including the Great Pyramid.
This material just keeps going and going for volumes. These are the fundamental building blocks, laying the foundation for greater understanding. The 135th course is at the level of the King's Chamber. This was where the final activation took place. We will see this number sequence of 135 or 153 become extremely paramount. The Ancient of Days and Uriel taught Enoch that all creation was a complete system. The Great Pyramid is encoded with all the wisdom in many ways. It's a super cosmic clock and calendar. We now understand more than ever. The mystery of the Ark of the Covenant may be explained by the fact that all the knowledge and wisdom of frequency and high vibratory energy that creates all matter can be contained in small shapes and sizes. The frequency table, when reduced to a single digit via numerology, creates a sequence that repeats. This sequence is also revealed by the multiplication of 4 and 5. It is what our number system was fashioned after. The pattern cycles, similar to the crown in the seventh seal, and also demonstrates vibrating energy. The metrics and its hidden layers contains the dimensions of the Great Pyramid, as well as many key sacred phrases that are within the Bible and other spiritual or hermetic ideas. The logically arranged number groupings in the metrics table act as a map or example of Gematria. The primary phrases that describe the number sets reveal meta-light codes. Both the alphanumeric sequences from the previous table and key phrases here have many sacred messages and supporting ideas that act as proofs and pillars of the Temple of Ascension. Here are some of the many amazing examples. Secret wisdom, reveal divine code. Wisdom proof, reveal Bible code. A mystery code, secret number proof. Seventh gate code, the number of God. The encoded secret pattern message. Saint Germain understood the whole story and picture and encoded all the central phrases with 1122, including the way to ascend. The two shall become one. He even encoded his pen name, William Shakespeare. What a concealed mystery. Here is wisdom. The passage from the Emerald Tablets has much more light to shed on everything. Thoth leaves us not only with clues, but actual instructions. The seventh Hermetic principles perfectly match all the hidden wisdom of the seventh seal codes. Here is part of the first principle. Key 1. O Lord, show me the path. Give me the path to the wisdom. Show me the way to the word. Answered me then, through order shall you find the way. Simple shapes. Their numbers and insights are the foundation of order. The values of 112233 show up in the wisdom codes in so many ways. The synchronicity over 22 years encouraged me to keep searching and remembering the way of the Eternals.
This information was taught in the mystery schools. It was earned knowledge granted to seekers who did the spiritual work to be bestowed with such powerful information. In the process of ascension, we must first master the emotional body, so that when we utilize the divine codes as true creator beings, we create in the divine balance and perfection the universe demands.
The seventh seal is the signet for the Melchizedek Mystery School that has returned during these auspicious times to activate us into full divine consciousness by opening the crown chakra and providing a direct connection to source wisdom.
The seventh seal activation works on many levels, opening chakras and blending the mind and the heart. It contains 7 primary ingredients. Let's do a few-minute meditation with it now.